While you're locked up, the Tory Lanez case, the Megan Thee Stallion shooting went to trial as well.
Yeah.
And he was found guilty of all the charges. He is facing 22 years now. He's supposed to be sentenced, I think, in about a week or two.
Damn.
And he's trying to appeal it. He originally got David Kenner, which is an old death row lawyer.
Yeah.
And he ended up, dropping him. And now he's working with Jose Baez, who is Casey Anthony's old lawyer, who charges $200,000 a month retainer.
Yeah, this shit get real now. Did Megan say he shot her in trial?
Megan got on the stand and pointed her finger at Tory Lanez and said that he shot me, Your Honor.
Damn. Don't sue me. I don't think he shot her, dog.
Well, it's a little fuzzy. We're not quite sure because, Kelsey got on the stand, changed her whole story, and you know what I'm saying? And then everything she talked about before.
I heard that it was some other shit.
She can't remember.
Yeah, I heard that she got like immunity or some shit, and then she said he ain't shoot her.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. We're not quite sure, but shots did go off. Megan got shot in the foot. He had gun residue on him.
He had gun residue
on him. And, look, Tony Yayo from G-Unit, he's a regular guest on my show. And he kind of laid it out as clearly as I've ever heard it. He said from everything that he's ever seen and all the people he's grown up around and all the shootings that he's seen and so forth, he's never seen a situation where someone shot someone, they survived, and that person is willing to take the stand and that person goes to trial. Usually when your victim is willing to take the stand against you in a court of law, you take the plea deal. You just worry about whatever plea deal you could get because very few juries are going to find you not guilty when your victim is pointing at you in the courtroom.
Yeah, it's hard, right? But the bullet went in, but it ain't hit no bones.
Well, I mean, she had bullet fragments in her feet. That's established.
A bullet fragment? It wasn't glass?
Fragments. No, it wasn't glass. No, they actually had the actual doctor come up. He showed all the charts, showed that it was metal in her feet and everything else like that.
But the best friend witness testified that he ain't shoot her.
Yeah, but
you know what it sound like? You know what it sound like?
What's that?
It sound like a domestic thing with girls. It don't sound like, cause why a nigga finna throw his whole career away on some shit like that?
Well, I mean, Tory had a history of pulling guns out on people.
Yeah.
And trying to be tough. I mean, he's like 5'2" or some shit like that. So you got that little man complex.
I mean, was it accidental then? Because then that's a whole different charge.
It might have been accidental. I don't think he was trying to actually shoot anyone. I think it was accidental. I think some shit broke out. The girls, he was fucking both of them, and they find out in the car. They start fighting each other, and he
it sounded like some shit like that. Not no man. That man ain't shooting that girl. Man, that nigga was in love with her, wasn't he?
I don't know, man.
Wasn't he in love with her?
I'm not sure, but I think the reality is that Tory Lanez, like I said, he's 5'2". He's never done any prison time. I think he was so terrified to even do a day in jail, that he just wanted to throw a Hail Mary. It's like, I'm going to go to court and I'm going to win it. Social media behind me, because they're on social media arguing about the shit. And I'm like, all this is going to be as an exhibit. For example, when the Shade Room reported on the shit, some random person in the comments said, Kelsey shot Megan. And he responded with his own account and said, that's not true. That Instagram comment was given to the jury when they deliberated.
And they said, he said it wasn't true right here.
He said it wasn't true, but his whole defense was that he didn't do the shooting, Kelsey did the shooting. So
he said
your
that
defense is saying one thing, and the client and the person in the who's trying to defend themselves is saying something else.
But this
publicly.
The thing, though, man. When you on the stand, bro, you got to put your right hand to God and swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. When you on social media,
he never took the stand.
When you on social media, bro, ain't none of that shit real. He could have said no, she ain't did it defending her and been fucking her right there on the spot.
Well,
she could have had his phone. He could have been fucking her, and she took his phone and be like, let me respond. You can't judge none of that shit on that social media, man. You don't know what's real and what's not real, man.
I mean, I agree with you, but when it comes to the jury and how things look, whatever you say on social media whatever you say in your songs,
Yeah.
whatever you say in interviews, whatever you say on the phone sometimes.
Social media.
You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever you say in text messages, all of that shit will come out and it'll be presented to a group of 12 people who are not fans of you, that don't listen to your music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That don't appreciate the culture. They're usually middle-aged people who are probably don't even want to be and they're going to take what's in front of them and make a decision. Social media, man, listen, I did so many polls on my Twitter account. You know, is Tory going to be found guilty or not guilty? 80% not guilty. You know, did Tory shoot Megan? 80% he didn't shoot her. Social media was 100% behind Tory Lanez. And that jury,
we all speculating, bro. We all speculating. I don't know if he shot her or not. You know what I'm saying? Because we wasn't there. I would rather that it's some kind of weird shit that happened and he didn't shoot her. You know what I'm saying? And I would rather Megan come out and forget a nigga and to retract the testimony and say he ain't shoot a nigga for the love of the culture. I just rather us as blacks, you know what I'm saying? We don't tear each other down. We build each other up. You feel me? Sue the nigga. Don't put him in prison. You know what I mean? Not for 20 years, right? You looking at 20 years and deportation?
22 years.
That's
22
crazy.
years.
That's crazy for a girl that he was in love with that he probably really ain't want to hurt. They probably just was drunk, having a drunk night. And maybe other drugs was involved, partying, nigga, and it went wrong. You seen that shit online the other day where the girl was arguing with a nigga on the live and shot him? That was accidental. She ain't shoot that man on purpose.
I always say this. If you can, try to leave the guns alone. Because when you look at that particular situation, if you did not introduce a gun into that situation, nothing would have happened to nobody.
Yeah.
It would have just been an argument. No one would have seen it. Maybe someone would have mentioned it online at some point and everyone would be living their best life. Tory would be on tour, making millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know who pulled the gun, though. We don't know nothing.
Well, it was Tory's gun. That was established.
We don't know he pulled that. We don't know where it came from.
But I'm just saying that when you bring a gun, you know, especially when you're at a certain level, you could afford security. You know what I mean? Like when I look at things like, all right, if I got to bring my own pistol with me and I got to carry it, I really got to think long and hard if that's someplace I want to go.
Yeah. Well, for the record, man, I wish Tory the best. I hope that nigga get out and he could look past all this shit and realize whatever mistake that he made along the way, fix it. I hope Megan forgive him. You know what I'm saying? Keep the bad bitch energy and just, you know, keep brushing niggas off and shit. And they get past it, man. I ain't got no problem with neither one of them. I like Megan music and I love Tory music too. I like both of them, man. It's sad to see it go down like that when we watch them get together on social media and then break up on social media. I'd rather them, you know, keep that shit off social media, man. This shit is better when it ain't known it.
There we go. All right, man. So what's next for you?
Next, man, I'm just working, man, doing as much music as I could do right now. My book was handwritten, so I've been typing out the book so I could publish it, drop that. You feel me? Just Big Money Blue. I'm on that vibe right now, just trying to get this music out and push this brand. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Focus on me. Eventually, you know, I'll do the Pretty Ricky tour or something like that. Millennium tour, come back around. We do that. That's a brand that we building with G Squared events. Feel me? Is
there going to be a new Pretty Ricky album?
Man, the album been done.
Huh.
That bit been done. That bit in the cut. Hidden. One of the execs called me about a week or two ago, say we're gonna fly down and come see me. He wanna hear it or whatever. He want me to run it through their label, through their major. But I'm like, we gotta all be on the same board as far as working and operating and shit like that. And really right now I'm trying to establish all of my solo shit for now. So that ain't really my main focus because it's there. It's there, the album is there. You know what I'm saying? All the producers that work with us on the first albums and shit like that, they all involved. They got records on it. It ain't nothing for us to do more records. But I think the harder part would be for me to build this solo career that I'm trying to do. I like a challenge. It's more challenging. The Pretty Ricky thing we could do in a snap. You know what I'm saying? We got loyal fans. They gonna be on deck. They appreciate the music and the time that we put into it. The show's always banging. We gonna show out. The show's gonna be sold out. You know what I'm saying? We're going to show it to the meet and greets. We're going to do all that. But when it comes to this big money blue shit, it's a grind right here, and it feel good to do it. It feel good. Feel good, dog.
That's what it is, Blue, man. I appreciate you coming back. Like I said, we did your last interview before you got locked up, and now we're doing your first interview after you're out. You know what I mean? I've always been supportive. We're going to go ahead and post that one video on our community as well.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And, man, listen, wish you all the best.
Hey, I appreciate you, Vlad. I'm always here, man. Whenever you want to talk, man, let's run it. I love it,
No
man.
doubt. No doubt. Peace.
Yo.